Well, good morning YouTube, Lofty's here. I'm doing an NT update today. NT1100 DCT 2022 model. Full update, 29,000 miles. I'll see you in a minute. Well, good morning YouTube, Lofty's here. I'm out on the venerable NT. Hey, how about that? I've just decided to give you a bit of an update of how things are going. As you know, my white NT is a 2022 model, and this year is 2025. It'll be 3 years old in June. We've done 29,000 miles as near as, damn it. So I'm just going to do a bit of a summing up video. I'm actually taking the bike to Damrulls now to have the TFT screen replaced. Although you can see Android Auto is working at the moment, I can touch the screen anyhow I want when it's stationary, of course, and the TFT doesn't react to touch. It doesn't matter what you do, it won't. The buttons are working, so I can flick between, I can put the music on, I can answer the phone, I can do everything. So in effect, when the bike's rolling, everything's normal. When I pull over and I try to manipulate the screen, it don't work. I reported this to Damrulls just before Christmas, and they said, don't worry, there's a 10-year guarantee on the screen. It's a known problem. There's quite a few doing it. In fact, I've found out since, it's not so much if your screen breaks, it's when. I believe the new model, the 2025 model, will have the new updated screen. So it should be all hunky-dory and working. Also, as you know, when I was in Portugal, I had trouble with, I'd switch the bike off and the screen would stay on, and it didn't matter what I did, I couldn't turn the bike back on. I had to disconnect the battery. And the nice chap at Beira Moto in Portugal, Castelo Branco, fantastic place, fantastic dealership. They really went out the way, and they what they did was they wiped the software. He said I was still running the original 22 software, and during the three previous services it had never been updated. He wiped the software and put the latest software on, which at the time was a 2024 software, I believe. And everything come back and started working, and to be honest, apart from the screen, the TFT failing, I've had no trouble since. He did say it was related to the screen. He said the ECU is in direct connection with the screen and the screen will fail. Anyway, of course, as you know, the screen's failed. So I'm hoping everything but okay. So apart from that, in the early days when I used a bit of oil, it doesn't seem to be using any oil since. The first couple of, say the first 10,000 miles, I had to top the oil up. There's a number on the site, on the forum, I've mentioned about this oil thing, but to be honest, my bike seems to have stabilised and it doesn't appear to be using much oil now. So I'm quite pleased about that. So in general, I'm very pleased with the bike. It's a good, fun all-rounder. Don't get me wrong, when you want to really press on, especially two up, the suspension does loose you down a bit. But that's easily sorted. All you need is a better shock or a stronger spring. I was tempted to go for the new model with the uprated DCT and the ERA suspension. But to be honest, I think I like this bike. It's a bit of a keeper. I don't know, some people have them, some people say they're boring. I don't find this bike boring at all. Some people say the DCT is not engaging. I love flappy paddles. Now, most of those people who say, oh, I really like to use the clutch, great. They're the sort of people who, they have a car and then they buy something like this in front, this lovely BMW Roadster, fastback, with flappy paddles and automatic box 7-speed, and then you say to them, what do you think? Oh, it's fantastic, I'd never go back to a clutch again. But for some reason, just because it's a motorcycle, they get all hoity-toity about, well, it's not very engaging. Now for me, when I'm pressing on and I've got my feet on the pegs and I don't want to be messing about shuffling and all that, I just give the old flappy paddles a flick. Not a problem. I mainly drive in S1 most of the time. If I'm 2 up, I always ride in S2, and I just override the gearbox with the flappy paddles accordingly. Anyway, it's only a quickie this is. I'm going to give you a bit of a catch up when the screen's done and show you how everything is, and just give you a bit of a reprise. So I'll see you in about, well, it'll seem like 2 seconds, but it'll probably be in about 3 hours time. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so for those who want to know, before I take it in, we're on software version 2.2. It says there are no software updates. Well, YouTube, I've picked the bike up. I've just put it into system information. So the eagle-eyed amongst you will spot one thing. We're no longer running version 2.2. We're running version 2.4. So the new screen has changed the software version. How good's that? Let's bring that back. Although we got Android Auto working, it took me a while. I had to actually put it into Android Auto so as it would recognise the CarPlay, because it was in CarPlay, which sounds daft. It's now in Android Auto, and I had to rejoin up my headset with the bike. So let's just have a bit of a look and see how it is, and have a bit of a ride round. Road's all nice and clear. We've got somebody from the Damrels training school in front of us, having a bit of fun with somebody probably doing a CBT or a bit of A1 training, maybe 125 anyway. So here we go, we're away on the NT. We're running new software. And I got my bike back. He did say the front tyre looks like it could do with replacing. I've got one ready. And the rear back brakes look like they need doing. As you know, I'm quite heavy on back brakes. Nice little cheeky overtake. You do tend to use the rear brake more on a DCT than you do a manual. So there you have it. It's only been a short video, but if you've enjoyed the video, click on the like, subscribe, ring that little bell. I'm only too pleased to answer your questions. If you want to talk about NTs, brilliant. If you want to talk about other bikes, no problem at all. So I'm going to sign off now. This is a Lofty Biker saying ta-ra for now. Ta-da!